Good morning and welcome. My name is Erica and you are at the Lopsided Crafter Loom Knitting channel. Hi if you're returning and hello if you're new. So if I'm being honest, I had this vlog that I have been recording. I didn't get a lot done. It's been a crazy couple days and then I'm just not feeling really well today. Hey Moo Moo. Oh, I am in the shadows because it is so sunny out here. You can see my shadow. Hey, Moo Moo. Oh, dog and DJ. And there he goes. This is dog. And this is DJ, as in Dog Jr. And here's Moo Moo. That over there is Tom. And Mr. and Mrs. Turkey. So I think today I'm just going to show you what I have done, what I'm working on, and tell you my current book. So a couple episodes back, I said that I ran out of the 50 grams from the share a pair and that I was going to have to hang up the second 50 gram of the main color here, and I did. So I was able to finish the toe on the second sock. So these are done. These are going to be in the book. I'm not sure what I'm going to name them yet. So when I show socks, if you have name suggestions, please comment that below. And of course, if I pick the name that you used or that you suggested, your name, or at least your YouTube name, will be mentioned in the book. So here's one of them that I have finished. I have a half a pair of a color work sock that I have done. This one I am going to call Footage because it looks like movie reels. I decided to only do, again, the color work on the leg instead of all the way down the foot. This was that experiment I was talking about in the last vlog on whether or not I needed to go up in peg count like you do on needle knitting, where you go up a needle size for color work. At least for the leg, I will say that it stretches pretty well. So from this experiment, I would say no. As long as you're keeping your tension the same throughout. And I'll show you the floats because, you know, when we're knitting those floats, okay, so a float is the yarn that lays on the inside of the loom of the colors that you're working with. So if you're working with two different colors, they kind of weave themselves in and out, and they call it a float. So when you're working on the loom, because the loom is already stretched out, if you keep your tension the same, when it comes off the loom, it makes the floats loose, which allows for that extra stretch, which does not happen in needle knitting because you're working with the same circumference size at all times instead of already being stretched out. So this is what a float looks like. See the different colored strands here that are picked up. And so when it comes off of the loom, you can stretch it out pretty significantly because it was already stretched from being on the loom, which is what I thought was going to happen. So, now, and if I'm being honest, you know, stepping on floats on the bottom of your foot is not normally the most comfortable thing. So I don't know that I would do an all over color work sock. I might do something like slip stitch color work or mosaic color work, maybe not necessarily actual type color work because of those floats on the bottom. And you don't want to do it just on the top, because then you'd still have to carry your yarn all the way around to get back to the other side of the foot. So I finished designing another sock to go with this theme, and I have wound the yarn for that. It is going to be yellow, red, and white. So it's going to be, at least again, the leg is going to be a popcorn box. And the cuff will be yellow to represent the popcorn, and then the leg will be red and white stripes. So hopefully that vision that I have for that translates the same onto the sock. I have decided to go ahead and keep these, even if I feel that they don't stretch the sock enough. They are still good for drying and at least display purposes. So I know that I have talked about that with you guys. I wasn't sure whether I was going to keep these blockers because they aren't quite the same size as my other ones, but I have decided to keep them. No new yarn other than December's Yarnable should be coming soon. Yesterday I casted on another sock. This is with the Game Day. I believe it was called Game Day. It's by Mandy's Makings. It was a yarn she dyed for the pigskin party. So I casted that on. Just have a few rounds of the rib. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do a straight vanilla or if I'm going to try to do some kind of textured pattern to kind of break it up a little bit. Oh, I forgot to mention we now have internet here. Yay! I did have to break down and get Starlink, and I got the residential plan instead of the roaming plan. Because having said that, I use the Hoopla app quite often, and if you're not familiar with it, it is a app that you can read ebooks, or they have the Audible type audiobooks, and it's linked through your library. So if you get a library card and they participate with this app, then you can just check the book out, if you will, and then you can either read it as an ebook or listen to it. And I typically have said many times that I just don't have enough time in the day to sit down and read. So I use the Hoopla app specifically in my car when I'm driving. But now that we have internet and the TVs that we have in here are smart TVs, I, hooked all those up. But on the Roku app, they actually have, or the Roku store, they actually have the Hoopla app, which I thought was fantastic. So now that I can play my book through the TV as I'm working throughout the day. So I am currently reading All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles. This is a very good book. I am not much of a romance reader. just never really have gotten into it very much. I will say that this is a mix between romance and thriller. So if you listen to this audio and you have little ears around you, you may want to use your earbuds because there are some very spicy parts in this book. We'll just say that. The premise of the book is there is a podcaster who's, she's a true crime podcaster, and her twin sister disappeared the night before their college graduation. And she thinks that she has found other cases similar to her sister's disappearance. And so the book is set in a town with one of the very first victims, and she's trying to figure out who the perpetrator is. It's been very good. It's not like knockdown, drag out thriller. It has some parts, but there's a little bit of comedy in there, and then like I said, like that little bit of romance. So it's been a very good read. So I like it so far. I do have a couple books on hold. I don't know if the app will show me what's on hold. Let's see. It won't show me what I have on hold. But the Hoopla app also has movies, TVs, TV shows, things like that. I also subscribe to Audible. And I participate in Goodreads. So I think what I'm going to start doing is putting my link below in the description of my Goodreads. If you want to see what I'm currently reading, or you want to be friends on Goodreads, that way you can find me there and what I'm reading. I have not read as much this year as I normally do. I think I've only read 18, maybe. It might not be that high. But now that I have the Hoopla app on my TV, I think next year's probably going to be better, because I'll have more time to read. So, yeah, so I think that is probably all for now. I'm going to sign off here. And until next time, stay happy, stay cozy, and may all your socks find their matches. Bye.